Hello, and welcome to another episode of Improvised Incoherence, the show where I say the first thing that comes to mind and hope it sounds halfway decent. Thought I saw something moving down there. Not sure about the recording quality of this video, because I'm outside and backlit and it's kind of noisy, but I don't really have a place inside to record yet. Aww, it's a baby deer. So in this episode, I thought I would answer a question that I've been asked quite a bit lately, and I'm not sure if I've really answered it. Why did you move to Spokane? I've been living in Montana for 16 years. I could have continued living there if I wanted to, so I thought I would clear that up, or try to anyway. So one of the more obvious answers that I usually give, my brother and sister live here, and my parents just moved here, and my 1-year-old niece lives here. I wanted to live closer to my family. Well, a lot closer. I don't have to drive anywhere now. The other obvious answer, I currently don't have a job. Yes, I know I spend most of my time writing stories and critiquing them and freaking out about CGI movies that nobody cares about, but primarily I'm a software developer, or I'm supposed to be. So there's more jobs in that field over here, and potentially more job opportunities. I'm not sure how true that is, because it kind of balances out. In Missoula there would be fewer companies, but I think there's also fewer software developers who want to work there. In Spokane I think more people want to work here, and there's also more jobs. Regardless of where I lived, finding a new job would still be a challenge. I think one of the main reasons that I moved was that I wanted to get out of Missoula. Missoula is associated with a weird period of time that I'm not sure was good for me or not. I guess I lived there for 9 years, between 5 years as an undergraduate and 2 years as a graduate, and then 2 years just living there. I spent most of my time as an undergraduate feeling trapped in a dorm room, and then I spent the next 4 years living in a basement, neither of which are the greatest places to live in retrospect. I didn't feel particularly happy as an undergraduate student. I spent at least a year in college being horribly depressed, and never really recovered from that enough to make close friends or do any of the fun things that you're supposed to be doing in college. I basically just did homework. The company I worked for as a graduate student and after school went out of business. It was fun to work for. It was interesting working for a startup, but I don't know how to sell that experience on a resume. How do you know how good of a programmer that you are if you've never had to work for anybody but yourself? Do you just have to figure everything out as you go? And then the company that you helped start went out of business. As pretty as Missoula is, as much as I like living in Montana, as much as I'll miss seeing the people who I do know that live in Missoula, I just needed to get out of there. Maybe someday I'll go back when it's not so associated with the college experience. The other main reason that I moved to Spokane, I've always kind of had this goal to move back in with my parents. I'm always working on all of my personal projects, but I also like to go visit my parents or go see what my brother is doing. My family is doing something on the weekend, so I gotta go drive down to Polson or wherever. So every weekend I'm always doing something like that, and that takes away from the time where I can be working on personal projects. So I thought, hey, my parents are actually going to be living in a place where there's internet access. If I lived with my parents, then I can see them whenever I want to see them. And everything that I need to do my personal projects is right there. Those are the 4 main reasons why I moved. The 2 obvious ones being I'm closer to my family and my niece, and potentially having more job opportunities. The 2 less generic answers being I wanted to get out of Missoula and move in with my parents. So for all of you who know me, I hope that answers your questions. I don't hate any of you. My moving from Missoula had nothing to do with you, I promise. If you have any other questions for me, send them or let me know in some way. Next episode I'll probably do a quick tour of select areas of my parents' house and yard. It's kind of a cool place to live. Hey, that's another reason why I moved. Their house is pretty cool. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, Brenda.